My name is Jess, and today we are going to be making caramelized onions. Start by cutting your onions in half through the top, then cut off the roots and tops before peeling them. You're going to cut your onions into slices that are 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch thick. When you get to the center, rotate the onion so it's easier to cut. When you cut your onions, you're going to want to cut them pole to pole. You don't want to cut them across because that's going to make a weaker piece of onion and it could lead to mushy caramelized onions. Put your pan over a medium heat. Add your oil, add all of your onions. This is the hard part, but you do have to leave them alone. What causes the caramelization is the contact with the pan, and if they don't have time to be in contact with the pan, they're not going to caramelize. I generally stir them every 3 to 5 minutes. In the beginning, you have a low chance of burning your onions as long as it's over a medium heat and you're using enough oil. When your onions start to become translucent and soft, turn down the heat just a little bit. I normally have mine between medium and medium low. You still want to hear the onions sizzling. You've just lowered the heat a little bit. This happened for me at around the 17-minute mark. After I stir the onions, I always press them back down with my spatula, making sure that they're in an even layer, making contact with the bottom of the pan. You can see here I have some caramelization on the onions. This is great. We're going in the right direction. What I like to do is take my spatula and rub it across the bottom of the pan. This gets up the bits that are stuck on, which are called fond, and that has a lot of flavor in it, so you want to make sure that you incorporate that back into the onions. It does take a while for the onions to start to caramelize. This is after an hour of cooking. But once they start caramelizing, you really want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on them because they will caramelize more and more quickly, and you definitely don't want them to burn, especially after spending so much time on them. When the onions start to caramelize more quickly, I'm stirring them every 1 to 2 minutes. This is an optional step, but I like to add a splash of balsamic vinegar just to deglaze the pan. I like to season my caramelized onions at the end with salt. If you season them at the end as opposed to the beginning, you really have control over how much salt is in them and you can season them according to your taste. I'm ready to take them off the heat. What I like to do is use a silicone handle cover to tilt the cast iron pan at an angle to drain off some of the excess oil. And then using my spatula, I push the caramelized onions to one side. It only takes about a minute or so for the oil to drain. This is the end result, and it is fantastic. I promise you, these are delightful. If you like cooking with cast iron or you'd like to learn more about cooking with cast iron, make sure to hit that subscribe button